you need to avoid spending more to save less. There are some people who have learned that it is good to spend less on something, and therefore they do it blindly without thinking critically about it. The easiest example I give here is using someone who is driving. So let's assume you live here where I am and you work there. So you're supposed to drive from here to your work just ahead of me. You are told there's a filling station that sells fuel behind you and it sells at 1 shilling cheaper. So you quickly think it makes a lot of sense for you to spend less instead of spending more. So you avoid fueling in a gas station that is ahead of you on your way to work, and you decide to first drive backwards to go and fuel, then you come back and go to work. In your mind, you have saved something. So I usually remind many motorists that the average vehicles on our roads have a fuel tank of averagely 50 liters. So that means that if you were to fill the tank, then if the fuel is being sold at 1 shilling cheaper, the maximum you can save if you are to do full tank will be 50 shillings. You rarely think about the fuel you're spending as you go back and the fuel you're spending as you come before you start the journey to where you were supposed to go. It even gets worse because rarely do many people go to fill their tanks. So you went there to fuel 500 bob to fuel 1,000 shillings. So which means the gains you have gotten are probably less than 20 shillings. Maybe you have been able to save 10, 12 shillings comparing to if you fueled in your normal station. But now look at the fuel you have spent going to that gas station and the fuel you're spending coming back to the same spot before you can be able to proceed to where you are supposed to go. In that case, then I say you are spending more to save less. There are some people who travel distances to go and buy certain things from distant places because those things are selling cheaper, slightly cheaper. Cheaper by 10 shillings, cheaper by 20 shillings, and so on. But they're not thinking about the fuel, or they're not thinking about the transport. Even if they're using public means, they're not thinking about that. So when they come back and they calculate the difference in total price, were they to buy that thing from the nearby source, then you realize that the gains they